3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Wednesday edition of Pro Line. Jim Spice is here. I'm Dave Koken. We're going to take a look at some of the NFL line moves. Also, a line adjustment that we want to talk about with an injury in the NBA. I've got 5 bowl plays up on the website now. I just put up 3 more today, including my bowl game of the year. So I want to get all these games because I think we've got a great chance to win them all. And again, they're up right now at JimFights.com and VegasSportsMatches.com. 5 bowl plays, including my bowl game of the year, all available now. How about you, Jim?
Well, you know, Dave, you've been doing red hot in football all year, and get an early jump on these numbers that Dave put out there. So go to the websites right now and pick up those games before those lines move. You definitely want to get on Dave's stuff real early, because once people start to get them, they'll hammer the numbers. So VegasSportsMasters.com, JimFeist.com for Dave's plays. I didn't have a good night in college hoops last night. It was the first, kind of really bad night I've had. So I've still got a pretty good winning record. Around 60% I think I'm running right now, but I was hitting about 10 points higher than that. So the last couple days have not been good, but we'll swing it around. I got 3 games in college hoops tonight. I will have a play on tomorrow night's football game in the NFL. And of course, there's some really good games that I really like on Sunday in the NFL. And of course, I'll be posting all my NFL plays on, or not NFL, college bowl games, not all, but a lot of them on Saturday. So, Dave, it's interesting. We got Ryan Shazier is still in the hospital. Prayers go out to him. I hope everything turns out okay. We've got a couple suspensions in the NFL, and it's warranted. They have to do things like that. Basically, it's only one game for Juju and for Gronk, but it's one game out of 16, which is a big percentage. It's not one game, in a baseball season or an NBA season. It's one game out of a very few games. So it's a lot in that respect. Maybe it should be more for some events. I don't know why Elliott gets 6, for questionable issues and where it's defensible, and some people don't think he even should have any. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on that. But we definitely, and you said it yesterday, we do need to police the sport and clean it up. So you were right about that.
Well, we got an injury in the NBA that's worth talking about. Stephen Curry is going to be out for a couple of weeks for the Warriors. Talked to some odds makers, and they're adjusting roughly 4 points. It'll vary from one to another in terms of their opinion on that, but roughly 4-point adjustment in the power rating and therefore the betting line. And it's showing tonight. Warriors just a 5-point favorite at Charlotte. We'll see what happens, see how it impacts the Warriors. It's not like a night off, which will occasionally keep a player. He is going to be out for a couple of weeks, and I'll be keeping an eye on Golden State to see what the flow is like for them with Curry out. But definitely see why they're adjusting it so much for him. He's that valuable to the Golden State Warriors.
Well, that's a very deep bench there, Dave. I mean, somebody's going to fill that spot. They're not going out on the floor with 4 guys. And I know he's a magnificent player, but they have that's a very, very deep team. And the thing about the NBA, it's a long season, and these players do want to get some rest before the playoffs, and this is a good chance for him to do that and recuperate from the injury. So it's a good spot for them in that respect. There's always a positive even in a negative situation. And that's the positive I see out of it. And also, it's going to get some more minutes for some other people on the bench that'll make them a little bit better come playoff time.
I would agree with that. We got some games moving in the NFL this week. We're going to talk about one of these, I think. Saints are getting some money on Thursday. Vikings, Jets, Rams, and I think one that's worth talking about is the Giants are getting some play. Now, this is a reaction to the coaching change, the fact that Eli Manning, you got to figure is going to be motivated back under center. And I'm not surprised to see the money showing on the Giants in this game. My numbers favor Dallas in the game, but I don't know how much I trust those numbers with the Cowboys right now. And you would think the Giants are going to put forth a pretty good effort this weekend.
Well, I've been talking about this game a couple of times. Hold on a second, Dave. I'm going to pause, okay? Till this barking stops. Go.
So let's examine this Giants game this weekend. I think we know what the reaction is going to be from the bettors. The coach is out. The team's going to be happier that he's out. Eli Manning's back under center. I think bettors are going to look at this game and expect a big reaction and a positive performance for the Giants. So, even though the Cowboys are the better football team and deserve to be favored in the game, I think this is the game where you're going to see action on the Giants. And we are seeing it so far.
Oh, yeah. The game opened 6, and it's down to 4. I don't know that Dallas should have been 6, but when you look at the way Giants have played all year long, of course, they were looking at Geno Smith being the quarterback when they made this line. But now Dallas has got Sean Lee back on defense. They got their left tackle back. And their offensive line, if it's intact, Morris can be a good runner behind that. And Dak is a much better quarterback when he has a running game and he has protection. So right now, Dallas is a better football team. And the Giants have got to excuse this word, they have to be discombobulated. Their general manager's gone, their coach is gone, the quarterback is coming back after a 2-week absence because he got benched. They still don't have a running game. They still don't have an offensive line. None of that has changed. And their wide receivers are out for the whole year. They've all got hurt. So, yeah, it's a rivalry game. It's a division game. You're putting Dallas in a road favorite. You got a home dog thing with a division home dog. But Dallas is the better football team. So maybe it's...
And that will be one thing we got this weekend, we got some really good matchups. That might be one of the lesser ones. But you look at the schedule this week. It starts on Thursday. That's a big game between the Saints and Falcons. You've got... it turns out to be a really important game in the AFC West with the Raiders playing the Chiefs. The Vikings continue off a great road win last week. We'll see if they can get another one against the Panthers. You've got the 49ers and Texans. Wouldn't be called a big game, but I think a lot of people are interested to see what Jimmy Garoppolo does in his second start after an encouraging first start. The Chargers are hot right now. They're at home against the Redskins. That's a big football game for those two teams. Eagles and Rams is the marquee matchup of the week, as far as I'm concerned. And then Sunday night, Ravens and Steelers, great rivalry and a big game for the Baltimore Ravens. Not as big for the Steelers, Jim. If they lose, I'm sure they'd like to win it. But the game that really matters to them is next week against the Patriots. And I think that might enter into the analysis on this game.
Well, you're right. I mean, 2 weeks ago, they interviewed Mike Tomlin about the game that they were going to play, which was 2 weeks ago. And all he was talking about is the game coming up against the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't even focused. And that was the game right when they played Green Bay and almost lost the game. Their focus was totally on the Patriots. And the Baltimore Ravens always play the Steelers tough. Everybody's got injuries. Jimmy Smith's out on defense for Baltimore. That hurts. But the Ravens always play the Steeler team tough. It's a physical game. It's a tough game. And I expect, you're right. There are some really good games this week. There's some clunkers, of course. I'm not going to tune in and watch the Chicago-Cincinnati game to any great extent, although I will watch it because I watch everything. But, Seattle coming off the big win, going down to Jacksonville. That's an interesting matchup, Dave. You've got the offensive line issues of Seattle against a very tough Jacksonville defense that sacks the quarterbacks. You know how tough it is to sack Wilson, but this is a great sack team in Jacksonville. They can get after you. There's a lot of good games. All the games you mentioned, This is going to be a big weekend. I'm excited.
I'm excited about my bowl games. I love the bowls. I've annually done a very good job with these. And I've got 5 games up on the website right now, including the big one, my bowl game of the year. That's my only game of the year for the entire season in college football. I did not do a regular season game of the year, which, from a selling standpoint, probably didn't make much sense. But, I just didn't see one that stood out to that extent that I could put a game of the year tag on it. But I do like one of the bowls. I like it a lot. And that game is included right now in the 5 games that are up at JimFights.com and VegasSportsMasters.com. Jim, you've got some big stuff out there for tonight. So people can.
I really do.
Right away.
I have 3 big college basketball games tonight that I really like, and I generally do extremely well in college basketball. I don't think I've had a losing season in 20 years or so. And I mean, I did have a losing night last night, no question. I Bray up front and full exposure on that. But I will bounce back tonight. I have 3 games up there. I expect to win all of them. So go to the website, JimFights.com and VegasSportsMasters.com. Dave and I are both up there right now. We got our picks up. And go get them. And I'll talk to you again tomorrow. And with Dave, I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll both get back on this thing at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Thank you, buddy.
Okay, Jim. I'll see you.